All right, there will be a lot of cans, roasting trays, and other items filling up the recycling bins after this week.
Yeah, Joseph asked, does Lexington sell the aluminum cans collected through recycling to help cover the cost of the recycling program? Here's our Victor Puente with the answer to that good question.
Well, yes, they do. Lauren Monahan with Waste Management tells me all recyclables that are collected are sorted into separate commodities at the Lexington Materials Recovery Facility on Thompson Road. After they're sorted, they sell them to multiple vendors. They say it's not the same vendor each month. She said they bid out the pricing of each material every month. They'll typically sell to the highest bidding company. That includes some local companies who use recyclables to make new products. As an example, aluminum cans are sold to Novelis, located in Berea, or Logan Aluminum in Russellville, Kentucky. The money made from selling those materials is put back into future programs and investments. If you have a good question, just email us, goodquestion@wkyt.com. I'll see you on WKYT Mornings.